Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to be changing the wheel bearing and hub assembly on a Nissan Xterra. This is four-wheel drive. It's the front wheel, so you got the axle, the CV joint going through the hub and bearing assembly. So let's get started on it here. This is part 2. In the first video I show how to jack it up and check for wheel bearing play to see if it's your wheel bearing or to see if it's a ball joint that's causing the problem. Now with the vehicle off the ground like this, wheels just hanging in the air, grab the wheel at the top and the bottom. So it'd be the 12 and 6 o'clock of the wheel. Just here and here, and then give it a big grab back and forth. Your wheel should not do that. If it does, you have a bad wheel bearing. This one has a lot of play in it. You can even just feel it just like this. It's so bad. So one tip, guys, if you don't have a really good impact gun that can remove the axle nut with the wheel off the ground, you're going to want to remove that while it's still on the ground. You can take out the cap to get at the nut and do it by hand like that. Or if you have a friend, you can get someone to step on the brakes while it's up in the air like this, and you'll be able to loosen the nut off that way as well. You could also stick a screwdriver in between the caliper and the brake disc, but that's not always ideal if you can do the other two options. Yep, 14. Is that my head annoying? You'll have to forgive me. I've got a ton of radio background noise in this. Tried to kind of quiet it down in some places, but should still be a helpful video. So you guys are able to look and you can understand, okay, this is what we have on here. Two pistons. And if you see something that you didn't open, then that could take a hook type situation that you want to follow through and report. Hook this. But those will let you know everything. Here's another thing. Hook it up here. Your creditors, if you're ready to start the deal. Okay, so if I pay the original creditor off, and then a collection agency tries to get me for the same thing, how do I deal with that? 19. Who is in Oklahoma City. My question is, I have recently left the company I work for. I have my retirement there. Tight. And I am trying to decide if I should roll. Even a little more length would be nice. Or I have student loans. In total, I have about $75,000. These are in there like at least 100 pounds. The way that felt. I have collections. I have about 20,000. Well, Stan, let me ask you the question. Would you use 2, 3... I need to know what am I going to do if these people, if it falls short, if it doesn't work. And so I would say as you start to look at that the real deal in real estate, he's not even buying unless he thinks he can get it for $1 for it. And he also says he moves at the speed of cash. And I love it. Yes, he does. And people listening to this hour of this show, I want to thank our Dan Child, our associate producer. There we go. So this method worked well for getting this rusted brake disc off. Since then, I've learned even another method where flip the ball peen hammer around and actually use the ball peen part, and you hit between the studs with that. And the reason why that is a good option is because the rounded shape of the ball peen, is that what it's called? It deforms the metal and it actually breaks the rust a lot faster. So if you can safely not hit your studs but hit between them with the rounded end of the hammer, you should be able to get it off pretty easily. They're just shaking their heads. They're a little bit discouraged. Maybe they didn't make the progress they wanted to make on the baby steps. Maybe they're not even in the baby steps and they're just like, I need some advice, I need some help. Man alive, get this guy some vice grips or something, hey? Pull that cotter pin out of there. This video, I made it a few years ago, so, you know.
I think I still knew about vice grips back then, but maybe I just didn't have one on hand, but it helps a lot. Clamp it in there and you can yank it out, and the straighter you get the end, the better. 32 millimeter socket. Here we go. Still love that Milwaukee impact. Beautiful 1,200 foot-pounds of torque. So powerful. Sadly, well, not sadly, but sadly, after I bought that one, they come out with a newer, better one with all the adjustable torque settings, and my friend shows up and he's showing me it, and I'm going, oh man, now I gotta upgrade. But no, I haven't, because mine is great. It's just, it's nice to have those 4 option buttons so you can torque it to, 100 pounds, 300 pounds, whatever the range of those are. To access those two if you have it loose like that. Here I'm showing you that you can push the axle back, and that helps you get a socket on these. So it's good to have that nut out so you can push the axle back and access your bolts. Let's do it. Surprisingly loose. That was fast. Can't complain about that, eh? Extension.
Well, Lydia, before I answer you, I want us to kind of take a step back and look at what you and him have done together. You told me you all are 100% debt free, including the house, correct? Okay. So, he got now, in his mind, the goal is this. I'm going to break it down for you. Here's what a credit score shows. It shows how much debt you have, how long you paid your debt, how long you've had.
Okay, the wheel speed sensor here, wires going up. My new one comes with a wire, so I'm not too worried about damaging these, but you can pull them out. Like that. And again up there. Push here. Okay. There it is. It's opening up now. Make sure you have this pushed in enough so you don't break the lock. Okay. Just a zip tie there. You just cut it. I just snapped it off. Okay. Get the wiring loose. Now all we have to do is separate the rusted hub from the steering knuckle. I have another video on doing that in a Hummer where it has so much surface area that it was on there like just crazy tight. This one I'm just going to try hitting it with a hammer a couple times and see if it breaks free. If not, I'll use my other trick. I'm going to take it off in like 30 seconds with an air hammer. So it looks like it's come out a little bit. So you can put a chisel in there and hammer. Okay, we're going to do this with the air hammer now. Hit it on the bottom. That's it. As you can see, I get a little excited with the air hammer. It's very powerful and you have to be careful. So yeah, I did nick the backing plate. Not a big deal. If you want, you can plan to get a new plate. But you know, it hammers flat. As long as you get your bolt holes in, it's not a big deal. Really, it's just there to keep the dust down and to keep the dirt and debris from kind of getting into the disc. Although all that stuff is still happening when you're driving. So not too big of a deal. But you could try hitting it on the ear where the hole is and spinning it instead. That's another alternative, but it comes to a point where it's rusted in there so bad that you just want to wedge it in and get it out. It's just flaking right off, so. Cleaning it up. Pretty good. The plate wiring goes through that side. I'll just run it through, right back like that again. This was on the front. And push the axle through, line that up. Give it a little bit of a push in. You want to line those holes up straight. A little tap over. Line them up like that. Air hammer kind of chipped this one a little bit, so have to make it round again. Pretend you didn't see that. I'll put them through now. Might make this a little easier. And I know that they will all line up. Okay. Now, Okay, we're going to torque them to 44 pounds. I'm just going to thread this on a little bit now. Not all the way tight, just get it on there loose. Push, click. Okay, back with the brakes. Clean that up. Where's the camera? Okay, brake rotor back on. Check your pins, make sure they're moving. Add some grease if they need it. Grease them in here, you pop these out, just like that. Put it there, spin her around, pop her back in. Okay, this one, pull the rubber seal back, pops out. A little grease on here. I like to put it there. Give it a little spin, pop her in. Caliper back on. £136. Okay. Clip fell out of here. Pop that back in. Got a little spring. Pads go in. Might as well re-grease these for them too. Get a little bit on there as they're all rusted up. Follow the shape. Circles, circles, that's where you need a grease. And then right along here where it slides, not on the pad surface. Bring them in like that. One. Helps to push in on the rotor, squeeze the pads together. Let's see here, these are 50-60% still good. So that grease is going here, here, and inside there. You can put a little bit on there too, and then around each of these. Okay, this slides over. Push the pins in. While you do that, £32. All right, She's good. Double check the wiring. It's out of the way. Everything's torqued there. Now let's not forget, and now we got to do this one here. So I'm going to put it in just a little more. Oh, it's on the run. I'm going to put it in just till it's tough. Okay, now this one torques to 100 pounds. So you can have a friend step on the brake while you do this. Put a pry bar between the seat and the brake. That's what I usually do to torque this. Or with the wheel on, there's a cap you can take off and torque this once it's on the ground. All right. Surprising that's all it takes. This tire's a beast. Nice and tight, just like the other side. Now there's no play. Good, we're going to put her down. Thanks for watching, guys. That's it for this video. I've got many more to come, so consider subscribing so you can join me in the next video. I'll see you there.